Just waiting for this computer to begin. There we go, tree diagram. So using a tree diagram. So Lily tosses 3 coins for a probability experiment, noting the result from each coin as a head, which is H, and a tail, which is T. Constructs a tree diagram showing all possible outcomes. So we start off with the first coin. Let me just move this over here. First coin, we've got a head and we've got a tail, head and tail. Then with each one, now we're going to go to our second coin. Right, head and tail, head and tail, head, tail, head, tail. Now guys, you have to draw these really neatly. Sometimes I do it in pencil first and then I draw it like roughly, and then I draw it neatly again so I can see how far I need to go. So now we've done it twice, and then we do it the third time. Head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail. Perfect. Right, so it said construct a tree diagram, and that's what we've done. Okay, now once you've finished all of those, you need to put your results. So for that line was head, 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 and then it would go head, head, tail. And then it would go head, tail, head, and then it would go head, tail, tail. See that? Okay, and then it goes tail, head, head, and tail, head, tail, and so forth and so forth. So now you've got all your possible outcomes. That's what they wanted you to do. All right. So next question says, determine the number of outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 outcomes. C, use the tree diagram to list all of the possible outcomes. So you just list all of those. Beautiful. D, calculate the probability of 3 heads. So, okay. So we know that it's got to be out of 8 because we've got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But now how many of them have got 3 heads? So there's 3 heads. So therefore we have only 1 unfavorable outcome, 1 out of 8. So I want you to write probability of, if you can, abbreviate it by HHH, otherwise you may have to write the sentence. So it's 1 over 8. Then E says the possibility of 2 heads. So like that one would be included. That one's included. There's 2 heads. There's not 2 heads. There's 2 heads. So if you count all together, you've got 3 possible outcomes. Probability of 2 heads, 3 over 8. You could also write 2 heads over here. F is calculate the probability of tossing 1 or 2 heads. So it's 1 or 2, and you count them out, and you get 6. So you put that 6 over, and I've written probability of 1 or 2 heads, 6 over 8, which can be simplified to 3 over 8. Oh, no, that would be 3 over 4. I'm sorry. That's a mistake on my side. Make sure you simplify properly. Okay, G. Calculate the probability of tossing at least 1 head. So there's 7 of them. So the probability of 1 head is 7 over 8. And there again, you could have said 1 head. Another one. Preston, Doug, and Hannah all nominate for 2 positions as class SRC representative. Construct the T diagram showing all possible outcomes. So is a SRC. We've got P for Preston, D for Doug, H for Hannah. And there's 2 positions, so we do it again, and we put their names in. Right, so we've got all their names in, so that one would be P and D, that one is P and H, that one is D and P, D and H and P, and H and D. Perfect. So now we've got all our outcomes. Determine the number of outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 outcomes. So we know that our denominator, our bottom number, is going to have to be a 6. List all possible outcomes, and we list all of them there. Calculate the probability that Doug and Hannah. So if we go Doug and Hannah, there's Doug and Hannah, and there's Hannah and Doug. So that's two probabilities. Oh, I went too fast there. Outcomes is 2, which is 2 out of 6. Bring that down, is 1 out of 3. E, calculate the probability that Preston is. There's 4. He appears 4 times, so he gets a 2 out of 3 chance. And that's a chickie, so I want you to do, not chickies and boys, I want you to do it now, please.